Oh, everyone. I genuinely don't know where to begin with this. Grab tissues. Grab coffee. Honestly, maybe pour something stronger. Because if you've been following the absolute storm that's been swirling around Savannah Guthrie's life these past few weeks, this latest development is the kind of bombshell that has me pacing my living room like I'm trapped in a cage. The headline alone. Pure, irresistible clickbait. At 61, Hoda Kotb finally tells the truth about Savannah Guthrie. Tell me you wouldn't click that instantly. But here's the difference. I'm not just recycling splashy headlines from tabloids. I've got a source. Let's call her a very talkative producer at 30 Rock who happens to owe me a favor after I covered for her at a holiday party last year. She's been quietly feeding me insider details. And what she says Hoda Kotb revealed on the set of Today last Friday, it wasn't just the truth. It was raw, unfiltered, emotional. The kind of revelation that forces you to reevaluate everything you thought you understood about her bond with Savannah Guthrie. Picture this clearly. February 6th, 2026. Studio 1A. The air heavy with hairspray, strong coffee, and the kind of grief nobody says out loud. Hoda, now 61, glowing as always with that iconic bob and eyes that could soften steel, walks in like she still owns the room. But the smile? It's slightly fractured. Like porcelain with the faintest crack. Remember, she stepped away from full-time co-anchoring in January 2025 after 7 powerful years beside Savannah, choosing more time with her daughters Haley and Hope and focusing on expanding her podcast ventures. This appearance wasn't casual. It felt urgent. Savannah has been missing from the desk ever since her mother, Nancy, disappeared from the Tucson estate on January 31st. Blood on the porch, ransom notes demanding Bitcoin, reports of a white van that have federal agents chasing shadows. The show has felt hollow without her. Carson Daly and Chanel Jones have held things together professionally, but everyone knows the heartbeat of the program has always been Savannah and Hoda. The duo that turned morning television into a kind of national therapy session. Hoda eased onto that famous orange couch. A couch that has absorbed more confessions than a confessional booth. The cameras started rolling. At first, she was in support mode. "We're family here," she said, her voice steady, though her eyes shimmered. "Savannah is the strongest woman I know. Through laughter, tears, and 3 a.m. script crises, she carries everything." Crew members nodded. A few sniffles echoed off camera. And then the shift happened. My source swears the entire studio fell silent when Hoda leaned forward and said, "I've never told this story." Not fully. About the night Savannah saved me, and maybe I saved her too. You could practically hear the collective inhale. What night? What happened? And why reveal it now, when Savannah's mother's face is circulating across Arizona alerts? According to what I've heard, NBC's legal team has already reviewed the raw footage. Portions may be edited. But leaked audio snippets are circulating internally, and they are emotionally explosive. Hoda describes a green room breakdown, a pact made over bad diner coffee. Secrets buried so deeply they rival the Grand Canyon. The bigger question: is this confession triggered solely by Nancy's disappearance, or is there a deeper fracture beneath the sisterhood? Before we even unpack that, we need to rewind. You cannot understand the magnitude of Hoda's revelation without revisiting how these two women's lives became intertwined. Hoda's origin story reads like something from a screenplay. Born August 9th, 1964 in Norman, Oklahoma, to Egyptian immigrant parents who fled political upheaval with almost nothing but hope. Her father, Hoda Kotb, worked as an oil engineer. Her mother, Samha, was a teacher. They arrived in America with grit and dreams larger than circumstance. Hoda grew up between cultures. Arabic lullabies at home, American television icons on screen. In high school, bouncing between Egypt and New Orleans, she was the driven overachiever editing the yearbook and dreaming of anchoring the evening news. She once told Oprah she wanted to tell stories that mattered. Stories about overlooked people who rise from adversity. After graduating from Virginia Tech in 1986 with a degree in broadcast journalism, Hoda hustled through small markets. Her first job paid $18,000 a year covering minor local stories. She later joked that she once reported on what she thought was a cat stuck in a tree, only to discover it was a raccoon. By the early 90s, she was reporting for NBC in New Orleans, covering hurricanes and oil spills. In 1998, she joined Dateline NBC, traveling internationally. On September 11th, she reported from Ground Zero. Her coverage earned acclaim, but it left emotional scars. In her 2019 memoir, Hoda, How I Survived War Zones, Bad Hair Cancer and Kathy Lee, she openly discussed trauma and her 2007 breast cancer diagnosis, detailing her double mastectomy and recovery with characteristic humor and resilience. By 2007, she was co-hosting the 4th hour of Today with Kathy Lee Gifford, eventually transitioning to hosting alongside Jenna Bush Hager. In 2018, after Matt Lauer's exit, NBC paired Hoda with Savannah as co-anchors. The chemistry was immediate. They carried the show through elections, pandemics, and countless viral moments, including chaotic remote broadcasts during 2020 and Olympics coverage that showcased their playful dynamic. Hoda officiated Savannah's vow renewal with Michael Feldman in 2022. Savannah supported Hoda during her adoption processes for Haley and Hope. Publicly, they described each other as chosen family. Yet, insiders hint at complicated human emotions. IVF heartbreak overlapping with fertility wins, unspoken comparisons that required maturity and grace to navigate. Savannah's own story is equally layered. Born December 27, 1971, in Melbourne, Australia, she was raised between continents before her family settled in Tucson, Arizona. Her father worked in engineering. Her mother, Nancy, was a storyteller and central influence. Savannah excelled academically. Graduated from the University of Missouri's journalism school and began in local news before ascending to national prominence. She joined NBC News in 2007 and eventually became co-anchor of Today in 2012, known for her sharp interviewing style. Notably, during major political and cultural events, she built a reputation as steady and principled. Her personal life included marriage to Michael Feldman and raising 3 children, including a long-awaited IVF baby she kept private for years. She has written about faith and resilience, particularly in her book, Mostly What God Does. Yet she has also acknowledged the emotional toll of high-profile controversies within the network. Now, with her mother missing, Savannah's absence feels seismic. According to my source, Hoda's on-air confession connects back to 2019. A private green room moment when Savannah experienced a fertility scare and broke down. Hoda, in turn, confessed her own fears about adoption and motherhood. They made a promise that night, no secrets, no judgment. During the recent segment, Hoda reportedly said through tears, "Savannah is not just my co-anchor, she's the sister I never had." She also allegedly recalled Nancy once telling her, "Protect her light." It's rare. But here's where the story deepens. There may be more that wasn't broadcast. A letter from Nancy, given to Hoda during a private Tucson visit last fall, allegedly instructed her to burn it after reading. Hoda didn't. Fragments overheard mention unresolved family tensions connected to decades-old disputes from Savannah's father's professional past. Whether that has anything to do with the current situation remains speculative. Hoda reportedly said, "The full story is Savannah's to tell, if she ever can." Meanwhile, Hoda's life at 61 is anything but quiet. Her podcast continues to dominate charts. She's building philanthropic initiatives through UNICEF and expanding into publishing and lifestyle ventures. Cancer-free for over a decade, she openly discusses survivorship and aging with transparency. She co-parents amicably after her split from Joel Schiffman and maintains a fiercely protective stance over her daughters. Savannah, nearing 55, is reportedly recalibrating as well. Exploring documentary projects, focusing on family, and navigating profound grief. Her Instagram has been silent since late January. Friends say mornings without her mother's voice feel like an echo chamber. Public reaction to Hoda's revelation has been explosive. Social media hashtags trend. Support pours in. Skeptics question timing. Analysts debate whether it was deeply personal or strategically timed. But here's the undeniable truth. Their bond has always been more than television chemistry. It's been forged in shared vulnerability. Late-night confessions, inside jokes, private heartbreaks, and mutual defense during crises. So now we wait. Was Hoda's confession simply an act of love during a devastating time? Or was it a partial unveiling of something deeper? A protective gesture? A warning? Or preparation for truths yet to surface? That's where we stand. What's your most unforgettable Hoda and Savannah moment? The pandemic dance breaks? The tearful tributes? The Olympic bloopers? Because whatever happens next, one thing is certain. This story is still unfolding. And I'll be right here, unpacking it with you.